So I'm sure a lot of you guys out there struggle to find a balance when it comes to your music career. There's a whole lot of different things you're gonna have to manage, such as social medias, content creation, sending out beats for placements. And on top of that, a lot of you guys out there are probably in school or have jobs and just have other stuff going on in your life. So I just want to take the time and talk about my personal experience about how I manage everything and how you guys can manage everything as well. So there's two separate parts when it comes to that. Managing producing versus the rest of your life, and what you should focus on within producing. Like I said, there's so many different routes you can go. So we're talking about focus. I think if you figure out what you want to focus on, that's going to be way more important than your time management skills, which we'll talk about that after. But producers are just way overwhelmed and way too unfocused because they'll have so many different platforms that they're posting on, and they're only getting like a little bit of work done for each. So I'm telling you right now, if you cut down on the amount of things you do, you'll get more work done in less time. And I know the first question, everybody's gonna bitch and say, but you're supposed to be on every single platform. Yeah, being on every platform is very beneficial to help you grow. But like I said, if you're not gonna be able to put all of your attention into each platform, then it's not even worth it. So I actually wanna go over this quote that I heard by the author Tim Ferriss, who makes like entrepreneurship books, self-improvement books, and this isn't a fucking self-improvement channel. If you want that, you can watch like David Goggins or some shit.
Who's gonna carry the motherfucking post in the balls? I am, motherfucker.
But the reason I'm gonna say this quote is because you have to treat this like it's a business, like you're an entrepreneur. So the quote goes something along the lines of this: if I could only work 2 hours per week on my business, what would I do? And I know all of you guys out there have more than 2 hours per week, but just visualize in your head, if you really were that busy, what would you do? And I guarantee there's a lot of little things that you would cut out, and there's probably only a few big things you would focus on. So what I want you to do is think about your goals and think about 1 to at most 3 different things that you would do if you were on that time limit to help you achieve your goals. The things I thought of were make loops and record videos. That's because some of the things I want to achieve are getting placements, which making loops is the direction that I want to start going in. And I also want to record videos. Obviously, I'm the one in the video, so I have to do that. And it's my beats that are getting placed, so, I have to make loops, or I have to make beats, The reason I say this is because all of those smaller tasks or less important tasks, 1, aren't that important to you, or 2, could be done by someone else. You don't want to just sit there doing stuff that's not going to benefit you that much. So I'd say think about your goals. And now going back to the quote, obviously we have more than 2 hours per week to work on shit, but that was really just to get you to think about what your most important tasks are, because whatever those are, I want that to be your main focus every single day. So the way I structure my days, I kind of make sure I get those big tasks done before I work on anything else. So I'll get some work in on loops. I'll probably start my day with 1 to 3 loops. Then I'll get something done for this channel, whether that's recording, planning, editing, whatever. In a perfect world, I could just sit here and record videos, but we'll get into that into the next section of the video. You just have to be able to cut down, and don't worry about the smaller platforms. Once you've got all of your main stuff done for the day, then worry about the smaller platforms, but that's really only if you have extra time. How I would go about it is 75% of your effort's gonna be into your main focuses, and the other 25% of your day, just whatever else you want to do. But even then, you don't have to do the other stuff. If you just put 100% of your effort into your main focuses, you get there way faster than everybody else. So the moral of the story is basically cut down on a few things. You still want to keep a mental note though. Whenever you're about to do something, think about it and make sure it's actually worth the time you're going to put in. Put all of your energy into just the big tasks, and like the small tasks are just really extra. You don't got to worry about those that much. A way that you could free up time is to outsource your work. I'm not at this point in my career personally, but I feel like I'm close. Outsourcing practically just means get people to do shit for you. Like obviously, I can't have people record videos for me or make loops for me or make beats for me. Everything else somebody could realistically do for you. Like a big portion of my time, like I'd say it takes about an entire morning to edit one of these videos. So something I'm looking to do and I have done in the past is hire an editor. It would be nice to free up time because I could spend more time on the more important tasks if I hired an editor. That's just an example of outsourcing. There's other ways you can do it, but that's just the most important one for me. I'm sure you guys could find other ways. But to sum it up, figure out your most important tasks when it comes to producing. If you have some success, if you want to free up even more time, you can outsource your work to other people. There's no like secret formula to stay focused. It's really all that. And now I want to talk about time management a little bit. I kind of want to tell you about my story for a bit. At my busiest time in my life, which was senior year, I'd wake up 20 minutes before school started, live my day at school. Sometimes I was able to make beats in class, but not always. Then I'd go directly from school to practice because I played a couple sports in high school. Then I'd leave practice early to go to work until like 10:30 p.m., get home, eat, shower. It's like 11 p.m. Then I just go to sleep, do that shit all over again. Obviously, that wasn't every single day because, you know, I had days off from work. Weekends were big for me. Like a Saturday that I also had no work on, I got more work done in that one day than I did the entire Monday to Friday. Practically every opportunity I had, I was producing. But I do think some of you guys out there need to make some sacrifices. If you have the opportunity to, which I did, I ended up quitting my job. And I planned on going back in the summer, still not back. Probably won't go back. I have the power to go back, but I'm really liking how music's going right now. Make sacrifices in life. If you really want this, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices. Something else you can do is plan what you're gonna do the next day, the night before. Just plan, like, set aside time for producing, what you're gonna work on. It's really not that difficult. I think producers out there are just overwhelmed and they need somebody to tell them this basic advice. Overall, you're gonna just have to cut down on some things. That applies to in music as well. You gotta cut down on certain things. For example, I actually recently quit one of my YouTube channels, and that honestly freed up a good amount of time to work on other projects. With all that being said, you just really gotta take a mental note, figure out what's best for you. Click here to watch similar videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.